entertainer.
No, that was all. That's years ago.
Okay,
Nobody cares about any of that.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
No,
Hey,
that's
give
fine.
a
That's
big
fine.
round of applause.
Make us look really stupid on live TV.
Give a big round of applause for Kathy.
Yeah, I'm running it. Kathy Weisbach running the booth.
Oh, man.
The booth.
Well, we have a special guest tonight. Thanks for listening.
Oh, Donna, I'm not
Thanks
that
for
special.
watching.
Oh,
you
didn't
yes,
mean
you are. But
no, hey, no. Don't try to take it back.
but you're going to have to share your specialness tonight. We got a special guest. My good friend Patty Payette is here. Give her a big round of applause. And Patty's going to talk. Tell the folks what your title. You've got so many titles. Tell us your two favorite. How's that? Other than mom and wife.
Well, one of my titles is at U of L. I'm director of a program called Ideas to Action.
I love it.
Very mysterious.
Ideas to action. I feel like you should be in some kind of superhero costume.
I think I should.
Hi, I'm the librarian.
Like they take the ideas and they put them in little test tubes and
see what happens. Like they put two ideas together and
exactly. Or also called I2A.
Slow down with like a number 2. Quit it.
Yes.
You quit it, Patty, right
she
now.
goes by P2. So Patty Payette.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
so-
Thank you, because I didn't get it.
And then your other title, tell us.
I am also a board member of the Louisville Free Public Library.
not a
I have to be a member.
She's
Like
a board
member.
member.
Exactly.
And so I know you guys have a lot of great things going on this summer.
Yes, we do. The library doesn't take the summer off. We have all kinds of exciting programs. One of them is the summer reading program, and that is a program for kids and teens who want to continue reading throughout the summer. And there's a summer reading chart that they get where they track the books that they read and they can rate the books. And then if they turn it into any local branch by August 10th, they can enter to win all kinds of cool prizes.
Wow.
Really great prizes.
Do they have that for adults? Because I can't even finish a book. But if
Well,
I got
I
a
stopped
sticker,
reading in the summer. It's like, all right, as soon as June hits, I'm like, what? And then
read
September, information.
I read the back of my toothpaste tube sometimes.
I don't even do
just
that.
to say,
Sometimes I squeeze
something.
from the middle. Yes.
You're out of control.
I lather and rinse. I don't repeat. I don't care who knows it.
You know
Send it
what?
out. Send it out.
You know what? I'm going to steal one of those signs. I saw the yard sign that says a library champion lives here.
Yes. So,
Which is that to deter illiterate robbers, or what's that?
that's a good question. There may be
might read me to
implications we hadn't considered, but it's a way to kind of make public the support for the library, people and kids who are participating, and so it's just
Yeah, I don't think
the visibility.
Maybe this sign was like a bootleg one because champion was misspelled. I'm just kidding.
I was a library runner-up. It was so close between me and Miss Crescent Hill Branch. Oh my God! Oh, it's tooth and nail. I was representing Highland Shelby Hollow, and I did not, because it got me on the question round, like Miss Utah. I was like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it was a question about the Dewey Decimal System.
And I said, we don't. I said, do we? I said, no, we don't. And so that lost it for me.
I think it's interesting now that so many people are reading on a Kindle or what's the Nook?
A Nook.
A Nook.
Kindle
Which I
or
think
the
is
Nook.
funny because we have that big Frankfurt book fair. Frankfurt always has the big book fair in the fall, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people go and get autographs from authors, and so it's
Well-
like, hey, will you sign my Nook? I mean, it's
Well, the library has ebooks.
Ebook. I just saw
now.
the other day they have ebooks.
And
Oh, wow.
and magazines. You can get magazine subscriptions free on your tablet or your Kindle.
Okay, now that's crazy talk. You're crazy, Patty Payne.
That is-
I know. Libraries in the
Wow.
21st century, but we still have books too.
So that's interesting, which I brought you a book that actually was discarded from the library at some point. I'm not sure.
It is. It still has the Dewey Decimal System. Evidently, they do.
Oh,
I didn't know if they did.
Last time it was checked out was 1991.
Wow. I like to smell old library books.
The fact that it was
try to guess where they were,
Thank you. I love it. Pretty much anything related to libraries. I love.
This smells like sausage.
Well, it's interesting in that book because it shows pictures of how, like the GIs and that kind of thing, they got books during the war and the first libraries. And it's really... Or libraries, as my family
the first library
would call it. I'm going to go to the library.
Well, and we have an incredible library system here. We're really lucky, and we just have been opening some actually new branches.
Really? Where?
Let's see. We're just secured funding for a new Southwest branch. And then there was a branch near Atkinson Elementary that we just refurbished. In the West End. So, and then there's one, the Fairdale, a couple years ago, new branch that we refurbished. So, libraries are really thriving in this community.
When I was a kid, that was what we did in the summer.
I totally went to the library every day.
Went to the library and we participated in the reading programs because I still have some of the buttons. They would give you for the theme of that year, and then, and my branch was the Newberry.
My branch was Parkland. Holla.
I live between 3 branches right now, so I have the rich dilemma of which branch do I want to go to?
That is a rich dilemma.
I know him. He's a great guy.
No one's listening.
Or trilemma, maybe.
Nobody's listening, so you can tell us which one's your favorite.
I have to say I'm kind of partial to the Highland Shelby.
Love the Highland Shelby branch.
I remember when it used to be on Bardstown Road near the Douglas Loop. It moved around a couple times. Now it's in Mid-City Mall. But the Crescent Hill one I worked at when I was in high school, and that is gorgeous, historic.
See, that's what I would. I like the old buildings. In fact, I saw on HGTV. There's a show called "You Live in What," and a lady had bought this old library and renovated it, and she used all the original shelving and everything for her home, and she
sleeps in a card catalog drawer.
She does.
On a table.
Beautiful.
That sounds really uncomfortable on the library table. Well, I think like I said, we're lucky to have both these gorgeous old. The main library is just a gem.
And they used to have art classes there.
Yeah, and they do have, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have a job shop where people can come and learn how to search online for jobs, get support with the resumes, different aspects.
Really?
Yeah. And we started something called Library University, where we have faculty and others in the community come and teach like a 4 to 6 week free mini course on really interesting topics.
Which I have a friend that went to that and went to the one where it was talking about raising chickens.
There you go.
Raising chickens in an urban setting, I should say.
So we want people to think of the library as not just a place to check out books, but as a center of learning and resources in the community. So.
Aww. Keith.
That is so nice. I said I was not going to cry today, and I'm not.
Keith is a big, he's a big baby, but no, he's also, he likes to urge people to read, and he's a part of the. I do. In fact, he helped set up some billboards. Is that right?
Well, I saw this billboard, and you can't make this up. It said "Learn to Read" on the billboard, and I'm like, who is this for? Like, if you know how to read, you don't need it. And if you don't know how to read, you sit next to somebody. What's that sign say? Learn to read. Well, that was mean. I just asked you a question, and then there's a big argument in the car. And
well, and for those of you who are actually watching the show on the internet, you can you'll be able to see the covers of 2 books that are hot. Really, as hot as it is outside.
They're great.
These books
They're
are
terrific.
hot.
They're terrific.
They are the top 2 sellers on the Kentucky want to read list, and our give me a book so I can prop my chair up with list. And the first one I think Kathy's going to put up for you is the How to Train Your Possum. Yeah.
Right, and really, it's just about 60 pages about play dead.
Yes, exactly.
There's not a lot to it, really.
But possums,
but
out in the state, it's a free pet.
I want to send a shout out to the publisher, Roadkill Books. Holla.
Well, the author was Roe D. Kill.
Roe D. Kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So killing. I can hear the laughter.
The people they can't even watch us. They're shaking so much. They have to put us on pause and go back.
The next one, though, this one I thought about actually purchasing myself, but then I was like, no, that could get me in a lot of trouble. It's called Home Tattooing for Dummies. And
great. It comes with its own big pen and matches. And a few tiny needles. Get you started. You know what I mean?
And a clip-on mullet for those.
Clip-on mullet, right.
Yeah.
And or rat tail.
Exactly.
And it depends on which version you buy.
Wow.
Because, it's hard to keep those pork chop ones on.
Tell me. A lot of glue there.
It's hot.
Library doesn't carry that one.
Oh, well, you should. Wow.
That's a hot seller.
That sounds like censorship to me, Pee-Pee.
It's teaching kids a trade is what I like to think. So, since you're so kind and came tonight to be on the show, we're so thrilled about it. We want to take a minute to share a little bit of our favorite summer reading.
Just some readings, some memories from our kid days.
This book, it spoke to me as a child. It just molded me into the person that I am today, and I just
and I don't doubt it.
I can't even tell you guys how it speaks to me still. It's called Curious George Rides a Bike, and filmed a glimpse. Scholastic Book Services put this out, by the way. Thanks, Scholastic.
Thank you, Scholastic, for those little newspapers we get every week. We order things, and George, I couldn't afford them, and so I would just look at the other children.
George didn't even have a 10-speed, 1-speed, because he's a monkey, and he's, he's very humble. He's just a humble little monkey. And so here it is. Here's one of my favorite passages. It says, George could ride very well. He could even do all sorts of tricks. Monkeys are good at that.
Oh, my God, they so are.
For instance, he could ride this way with both hands off the handlebar.
What, George?
And he could ride this way like a cowboy on a wild bronco.
Oh, so unsafe.
And he could also ride backwards. But after a while, George got tired of doing tricks and became a prostitute and newspaper boy. Yeah. That's a fine bike you got there, the big man in the yellow hat. That striped, sexy shirt, he said to George. How would you like to help me deliver papers? Wink. He handed George the bag and told him to do one side of the street first. Then if he was good and gave him 10%, he'd let him do the other side. George was very proud as he rode off with his bag. He started to deliver the papers on one side of the street, as he'd been told. When he came to the last house, he saw a little river in the distance. George was curious. He wanted to know what that river was like. So instead of turning back around to deliver the rest of the papers, he went on to see the river.
Such a lesson for all of us.
I know, it's
really.
so profound, isn't it? It's
George
when we're in life and we feel like we're just delivering papers.
Frankly, George is every man.
Exactly.
Yeah. He is.
Just put the bag of papers down and go see a river.
Yeah.
There's a river for everybody. Do you feel that way, Patty?
I would say yes, although why is he attracted to the river?
There you are. You know what? His homeland.
He's going with the flow, maybe?
Yeah, I think there's a part of him that cries out for his lost life home in the jungle.
Oh, sure. You can, bake a cake. You can ride a bike. You can snort ether in a hospital. And yet something calls back to the rivers of your childhood.
See? Exactly. See? So you have your own theory about Curious George.
Well, yeah. My sister and I were talking, and we noticed a theme running through all the Curious George books. Do you notice a theme?
A working monkey.
Yes. And what is George constantly doing?
Being naked and curious.
Yes. And curious is also a euphemism for being really, really
strange,
naughty.
Yeah.
Yes. Constantly flaunting convention. He's supposed to be delivering papers. He sees a river. What about the people who want to get their newspaper?
Exactly.
Expecting their newspaper. He doesn't think
George.
about that.
No,
he doesn't.
So selfish, George.
And so we have this thing that he's constantly drawn into, like upsetting the apple cart, so to speak, literatively and figuratively.
Maybe that's the banana cart.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was taken away from his jungle home And so we think sort of the imperialistic white man who took him away, that this is his way of sort of expressing, maybe unconsciously even, his...
Wow.
That is so... He should rise up.
Whew. That's one...
Him and all the other monkeys.
Complex little monkey.
Right. Here you just thought he was,
Gosh, I was just wondering what's her name? Ivan Zant, or what's her name?
Iana Van Zandt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because her book was one of your favorites.
Yeah.
What is The Biscuits Burned and I Cried in the Meantime? Is that what that? Yeah.
I cried. Yeah, I cried in the meantime.
Yeah.
My soul got happy and I cried in the
We
meantime.
had about Curious George, but maybe also kids just like, because it's also kind of when kids read it, they don't have to act out because George is doing it for them.
Right. It's a very vicarious thing.
It's
frankly mind control for 6-year-olds.
Really?
George decided he'd go to the river. Look what happened to him. Maybe you should stay far from water.
I didn't even tell you what happened to George.
Maybe we just don't spoil it.
He's
let people discover it.
He's just my favorite. I just love that little curious monkey.
He
I
is.
like when he wears the little hat. That's one of my favorites.
That's the best thing.
Because I like a fashionable animal.
Right, but again, that is something that is being imposed upon him by society.
Well, now,
how does it end? Is there a happy ending?
There is. He ends up after he goes to the river, he ends up going to a circuit. Well, actually, racetrack, circus.
This bike will take him.
And then, of course, the man comes and gets him and puts him back in the car and takes him home. And it's a good night with his bike hid behind the bed, which I like to believe is there for a quick escape if he so chooses.
In case he needs to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, there's his horn to alert people. Help me. I'm a monkey with a bike and I need your help. And he's sleeping.
He is pretty darn cute.
He is.
He's adorable.
He's adorable. I love him. So, Keith.
He's a curiosity.
You have a book as well.
I do. I don't know if
summer
you
reading.
This is probably one of my favorites as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
You know how you always have the books you go back to over and over, your Goodnight Moon, your, Muba La La Las. I also have a book that I like to go back to a lot. It is the Lancashire Pocket Dictionary in Spanish. I remember we would sit, like I'd sit on my mom's lap, and she would just read.
And she would read?
She would just read. But I just want to do a couple of...
Oh, please. Indulge us.
I'm gonna try to hold it together, because childhood memories. Curiosidad. Curita, cura, curriculum vitae, cursi, cursillo. Cursiva, curso, cursor, curtia, curva, cuspide, custodio. Eructar, eructito. Escabeche, escaproso, escabrice. Escala, escalada, escalera. Osteoporosis.
Can I just say, those watching right now, this is not Univision or Univision. Just go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ovulación, oxidado, oyente, hoyo, ozono.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Puerto Rico, my heart's devotion. Let it sing back in the old.
That takes me back to one of my favorite childhood shows called Tutti.
Tutti and the Boys. Oh, it's a great show.
Well, Patty, I have something that I would like for maybe you to read a little bit. Because there's kids getting ready to go to bed right now. So, and for those of you who've not fallen asleep yet listening, please listen or get the kids close to the radio right now, or the computer, or whatever you're listening. And Patty's going to lull them right to sleep.
There once was a man from Nantucket. No? We're not doing
Runaway Bunny. This was one of my
kids' And I found out
favorites.
that this is not a Hugh Hefner book.
No, it's not.
No.
Ironically,
it's not.
it is not.
Runaway Bunny.
And this is, I believe, by the same woman who wrote Goodnight
Moon, Margaret Wise Brown.
Yes. Yes.
I know a little something.
Yes, and it's interesting.
Could you just pull a little excerpt from that you find to be moving, or that would maybe comfort the children before they go to sleep tonight?
Once there was a little bunny who wanted to run away. So he said to his mother, "I'm running away. If you run away," said his mother, "I will run after you, for you are my little bunny. If you run after me," said the little bunny, "I will become a fish in a trout stream, and I will swim after you. Oh, I will swim away from you." And the mother says, "If you become a fish in a trout stream, I will become a fisherman, and I will fish for you." So then the book goes on, and it talks about the bunny keeps talking about how he's going to run away, and the mother keeps saying, "If you do that, I will come and find you and come and get you." Right. So it's all the different iterations of the bunny dreaming of different ways. Right. To run away.
Similar to the monkey wanting to leave.
Similar to the monkey wanting to cross the boundaries.
To escape. To escape from the imperialism imposed on him with striped pajamas.
I think it's interesting that animals are used as a metaphor for people, entrapment in the lives they don't want.
My favorite part is when, in The Runaway Bunny, where he says, well, if you follow me, I will become a stripper and twirl around the pole. And then Mom said, well, if you do that, I will become a drunk John and tuck dollars in your bunny underwear. Well, if you do that, then I will leave college and throw my life away.
There's a Spanish version of this that's the Runaway Chihuahua.
Runaway Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. If you go away, I will... Like that?
Yeah, it's just like that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
It is a classic.
It is. And what's great about it, it has very thick pages. So you don't wear yourself out with all the words.
When my aunt used to read that to us, if we'd stay all night with my cousins, she liked it particularly because of the thickness of each page, because it left a good whelp on your head when you
I'm reading this a lot of times.
Like, she liked
I'm not
an
done.
audience.
I'm not done. Right.
Yeah.
Good one.
And it burns really fast, too.
Right. We're just up to the point where the bunny goes to the merchant marines, and then Mom says, well, I will become a submarine, and I will carry you to the... I don't want to spoil it for people who may not have read it, but the ending will blow you away.
Well, now, Patty has children. What are some things that your kids are reading right now?
Wall Street Journal.
My kids love, actually, not the Wall Street Journal.
They're behind schedule.
Occasionally, our New York Times randomly will suddenly be replaced with a Wall Street Journal.
Really?
Someone will just
sounds like Curious George has been delivering your papers.
These liberals need a little dose of,
Really interesting.
So you're Gingrich, who's and they'll throw in some.
And your kids, do they?
No, my kids like the Diary of a Wimpy Kids books.
I thought you were going to say Diary of Anne Frank. I'm like, what kind of kids are you raising? My kids like Diary of Anne Frank.
Diary. What else do they like? They like, my son really got into the, would not touch Harry Potter, but loves the Tolkien books.
I don't know that one.
Lord of the Rings.
Hobbit. Yeah.
And Two Towers, and so he really got into that.
See, if
none of that, they were just like Harry Potter. They just
if they're not if there's not cartoons with bubbles above their head with the type in it, I don't read it. I
hear that. It's like if you can't do it in 4 squares.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, when is the punchline of this?
I loved Far Side books. Those were my favorites.
What about Calvin and Hobbes?
Oh, exactly. Got them. Love them. And what was the guy that did Matt that did The Simpsons and all that?
Oh, Matt Groening.
Yeah. The little guys that wear the fezzes.
Love as hell.
Akbar and Jeff.
Yes.
I love Akbar and Jeff.
Or what about Linda Berry?
Linda Berry.
All of her books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She was like the female.
Or Dave Berry. Or Ken Berry. After he got off Mayberry RFD, he did a few books.
Well, after this show, I'm going to take a book into a comedy club, I think, and read.
Just read it.
Yeah, just because it's the summer. And,
it's the summer. People need the comedians. A little enlightenment.
Take a joke book into a comedy club.
There you are.
That sounds like a joke premise. A joke book goes into a comedy club. Comedy club says, We don't read joke books here. There's a lot of, because, this show is supposed to be a little funny, too. So we're going to.
Oh, well, let's start doing that then.
We don't
have a lot of time left. Let's get to that.
We're going to, tell people that there's a lot of great comedy in the city this week. As you know, you live in the Highlands. So
yes.
The Bardstown has got some great things happening this weekend. Tonight's
right, and
the open mic there.
Big to do. Starting in August, I'm going to push it a lot. This guy, Mike, very funny. Mike Kaplan. Whew, that was close. Mike Kaplan. He's been on the Last Comic Standing in 2010, and he's going to be there in August at the Bardstown. You got to come see him. We get a lot of really great guys like on the way up or on the way to becoming.
And I'm
so we got to
interested
support it.
to see. I know that Janelle Fitzpatrick had her No Balls of Meat show, the first one. It's all females performing, and it's like a competition. They had their first one last weekend, and another one continues this weekend, and then the last one I'm going to be doing. And
where is this? At the Bardstown?
It's at the Bardstown. So people can check out all of those wonderful shows by checking out the Bardstown website.
Also, this week, very good comedy friend of mine, Etta May, is going to be at the Comedy Caravan for the next 2 weeks. You got to come see her. She's hilarious. Queen of Southern Sass.
Definitely. I'll have to go.
And the Mid-City Mall with we've got a library branch there.
There's a library.
So hit the library.
Get a book, get a bag of books.
And then go to the comedy club.
See, it all just works out.
It's all beautiful.
See?
So, thank you so much for...
Thank you.
for coming by and being such a willing guest. Yes. And one of the things I did give Patty a book on how to make cards. Patty loves to make cards, and
talking, Donna Watts.
One of the staples here on the show is we always have an audio greeting card, and I neglected my duties this week. I didn't create one, so eeks.
Well, that's right.
Do you have one off the top of your head over there?
Well, we just recently celebrated the birthday of America.
Right.
So I just wanted to say, happy birthday, America. You don't look a day over 250. You look good, girl, America. Woo. America, have you lost weight? America, did you get America had Botox right here.
I like that, Keith. Well, Keith, are you going to be anywhere working?
I'm
going to Shakespeare coming up.
I'm going to be on a cruise next week.
Oh,
that's right. I'm going to be on a boat.
What, on the Bell?
Dig it. Yes. No, actually, there's somebody has a motor boat, paddle boats.
Oh, good.
I'm just going to be
like Cumberland tour.
right off Cox's Park, just pedaling out a little.
The pharmaceuticals in the water tour.
That's exactly. We're just going to scoop stuff up and drink it and get a little buzz.
So no, really, who are you going to be?
I'm going to be on a cruise. I'm going to be on a comedy cruise going to St. Martin and Jamaica.
Fun.
Yeah, and then the week after that, I'm going to be at Crackers. If this goes all the way to Indianapolis, which it might, I'll be in Crackers the week after that. And then another cruise. And then very glamorous Fayetteville, North Carolina. So
wow.
Yin and yang, baby.
Wow.
That's awesome. So Saint Martin and Jamaica and all of that.
And Fayetteville. What are you doing? That's the thing. That's the joiner.
Well, but right now, look at you now. You're in the. I mean, I didn't think it got any better than this. So.
It doesn't.
Wow, awesome.
It's all downhill from here.
It is all downhill.
It is.
Wow. Well, thanks for listening, everyone,
and watching. If you can see,
watching.
See me.
And sorry if we've, dirtied the screen or anything there. If you've got any comments or requests or anything you want to tell us, you can send us an email. Donna at CrescentHillRadio.com or Keith
at CrescentHillRadio.com.
And if you like the show, we want to know that. If you hate the show, let us know that too.
We don't, Donna. I don't want to know.
And
I'm still recovering from being library runner-up.
And please support Crescent Hill Radio with any donations or and
if I might
supporting the artist you hear.
Frutse Frustacion Frutila.
There you go. I don't think it gets any better than that. Thanks, Patty. Thanks,
you.
Keith.
Thanks,
Kathy.
Donna. Thanks, Kathy, Patty, Donna, Patty.
Keep listening and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I got a gal that's working rich folks' yard. Well, she brings me coffee, Lord, she brings me love. She brings me tea, honey, she brings me meat. She brings me everything, pretty mama that a woman can steal. On the circus, they'd come to town, you know they had a little elephant, nice and brown. Didn't know there was against the law for the monkey to stop at the five-fish store. Round the corner about a minute too late, another one sitting at the big black gate. I'm 7 wild. I call my Cora. Hey, hey. You know she come here sniffing with her nose all sore. Doctor said she can't smell no more. Said run here, doctor, ring the women in the alley. I'm 7 wild. I'm a good cocaine. Furniture man came to my house, it was last Sunday morning. Well, he asked me, was my wife at home? You know, I said she'd been long gone. She backed that truck up to my house and took everything I had. Well, I drove it back to the furniture store. I swear it did feel sad. And now what in the world has any man got doing messing with a furniture man? Oh, no. 'Cause if you got no dough, you can't make no show. You know, he'll take it all back again. He'll take everything that you earned and on, from a skillet to a frying pan. If there ever was a devil without any horns, I swear it was a furniture man. I call my Cora. Hey, hey. You know she come here sniffing with her nose all sore. Doctor said she can't smell no more. Said run here, doctor, ring the bell. Women in the alley. I'm 7 wild, I'm a good cocaine. Doctor and the baby down in New Orleans. You know the doctor with the baby till the baby got mean. Kept on with until the baby got sore. Doctor said she can't smell no more. Said run here, doctor, ring the bell. Women in the alley. Never can tell. I'm 7 wild and I'm a good cocaine. I call my Cora. Hey, hey. You know she come here sniffing with her nose all sore. Doctor said she can't smell no more. Said run here, doctor, ring the bell. Women in the alley. I'm 7 wild if I'm a good cocaine. You know it's true. I'm 7 wild if I'm a good cocaine.
You turn the sound up high. You turn the lights down low. You turn your dial to Crescent Hill Radio.
It's 89 degrees here in Crescent Hill, and you're listening to 1650 AM radio.
It's 8:04.
This is Aunt Lenore, and you're listening to Crescent Hill Radio Station.
Up next, the Debauchees.